Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're here to talk to you guys about Jack3d Micro. It's the new pre-workout supplement from USPLabs. As of right now, it's new, and it is not replacing the original formula of Jack.
No.
So the biggest difference, it doesn't have creatine, no
creatine,
beta-alanine,
and no 1,3-dimethylamylamine or geranium or DMAA. That's not in this product.
And the thought is that some people were thinking they were going to discontinue the original Jack because of it. Well, that's still in limbo as of right now. We have a video where we discuss the FDA case with it. And as of today, this filming, USPLabs has actually sponsored some research that has demonstrated that geranium is in fact the source of 1,3-dimethylamylamine, which was one of the suits brought against them by the FDA. If you watch our video, we go into detail. They kind of were throwing a lot of stuff at them as far as it goes. So as of right now, that's where it's at, and they're going to do another follow-up study that they believe will further demonstrate the case. So they're not fighting it. They are fighting it to...
Yeah, they're leading the fight, I guess you can say, against the FDA with this.
Sure.
They should have 2 peer-reviewed studies soon.
Yeah, and being their flagship product, the original Jack, that's probably why. So Glenn, without further ado, let's go ahead and review this one, this new Jack3d Micro, the formula. As we mentioned, there's some differences between the original Jack. So right off the bat, L-Citrulline.
Yeah, citrulline, it gets into the body, converts into arginine. It is an amino acid. The idea is that obviously we've gone in former videos and talked about arginine and leading to nitric oxide. So the idea is you take citrulline and then it converts into arginine in the body, and you're supposed to get that nitric oxide effect, or the increase in nitric oxide. Sort of the same thing happens though, is that there is that arginase inhibitor that breaks down or inhibits the nitric oxide production from arginine. Sort of the same thing with citrulline.
You seem to trigger the same homeostatic measures that your body has to inhibit that production. So, most of the research in that area is typically on people who are, otherwise have constricted blood vessels. So now there is evidence that shows that citrulline can work, but where are those doses at?
Generally 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 grams. And this actual citrulline is part of a 2,247 milligram proprietary blend. So I'd venture to guess you're not getting, maybe you might be getting 2,000 or 2 grams, there's no way to tell, but you're not getting that 4 to 8 grams of citrulline.
Yeah, and we've talked about how to judge pre-workouts. We always recommend not to judge them based on nitric oxide ingredients, just because of the lacking research. So, we always keep up with the research to check, because nothing is set in stone. Things can always change. So, we can't sit here and tell you that definitively this will always be the case. It's just as of right now, from what we know, when the purported effect is to increase nitric oxide in healthy individuals or adults, that has not been demonstrated. Now, there are some benefits to citrulline. We do have a video that details that much more when you do get up to that 6 to 8 gram dose, so that would be one to check out. Next ingredient is Arginine Nitrate. Now, a lot of the research on this has been based on the fact that it was discovered that nitrates and nitrites were thought to be just oxidative compounds that were benign. They were useless as a result of nitric oxide production in the body. But it turns out that the reverse of that process can lead back to nitric oxide production, is what they have found. Now, there is some research showing that pathway for NO metabolism, but the problem is it's in mostly people with vascular disease, which you would expect, which makes sense that the research would be there, because they're going to have damage to their vascular system in the sense that they might have trouble with relaxing those blood vessels in order to get them to open up, which can lead to hypertension, aka high blood pressure. So that seems to be positive for those people. The issue is right now is there's not a lot of research being done on athletes. These are all done in hypoxic states with a different set of a population, and that's typically where the money's going to go anyways for that kind of research, which again makes sense. So as of right now, we can't definitively say that it does help increase nitric oxide in healthy adults or athletes in this case. So it may, my inclination is that you're going to run into the same homeostatic measures where if you're otherwise healthy, those levels are where they need to be, so your body again has ways to counter it, as Glenn had mentioned, arginase to counter excess arginine. Things play a lot of roles in the body outside of just controlling vasoconstriction, vasodilation. You're talking about the urea cycle with certain things, so that's things to keep in mind. So that's where it's at right now with nitrates and nitrites. Maybe, but as of right now, we'd like to see some studies on healthy adults or athletes. Agmatine sulfate, Glenn?
Yeah, agmatine is just what's called decarboxylated arginine. it is naturally found in the body. A lot of the research on it shows that it can be an analgesic, meaning that it can be a pain reliever. There's a lot of good research on humans to show it can also help with pain relieving. But a lot of the reason why they're putting this in here is for the nitric oxide production, because it does inhibit nitric oxide synthase, which is an enzyme that will break down nitric oxide. But there's a lot of research lacking in actual humans to show that it does increase nitric oxide, or there is some sort of a benefit from
So they're using it to help because it's a catalyst typically in that reaction. Okay. Or the NOS is a catalyst in that reaction. Now, grapeseed extract, that was another one. You know, I found that some research has shown that it may be an aromatase inhibitor. They had some studies on possibly being beneficial for breast cancer and reducing the risk of it. What did you find on that? I know that's not why it's in here.
Yeah, they're claiming for the increasing nitric oxide, obviously. There's some studies to show that it can actually decrease blood pressure or lower blood pressure, which I think, okay, that might be the idea that they're going after, you know, relaxing those blood vessels, which may help with vasodilation. But a lot of that was done in rats and also in vitro, so there's not many actual human studies.
So we don't know the mechanism either.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot too sometimes.
Also.
Things can work and we may not always understand the mechanism of action. So like to see more on grapeseed extract. Seems to be some pretty good stuff out there.
If anything, it's a great antioxidant.
Yeah, so you have that going, so it makes sense to be in there. Now caffeine, just real quick on caffeine, we know it helps increase performance because it's going to help, you know, get you going for your workouts, so to speak, help you focus, make you more mentally alert. Biggest thing with caffeine stimulants is what we always say is it's always a good idea to break up use of this, especially with this form of Jack not having creatine or beta-alanine. You know, usually we recommend you supplement those separate anyways just to keep your levels a little bit higher, but you don't want to take stimulants every day unless it's for maybe like 30 days, because then you start to build up a tolerance to them and it takes more and more for you to feel it. You know, so I had 1 cup of coffee and, you know, a few weeks later now I need, you know, a cup and a half to feel it. So you can break up your use maybe 2-4 times a week to keep yourself sensitive to the stimulants. So that's our advice when it comes to those. Or if you use them straight through for say 30 days, give yourself at least a few weeks off.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Okay, next one, there's 2 more ingredients.
It's called norcochlorine hydrochloride, or they have a patent for it called norcholine. It's also known as hegenamine. You might have seen it in some other products. PES has a product called Alpha T2. It's in there now. It's what's called an adrenergic agonist. I always say that wrong.
Yeah, adrenergic system.
Yeah,
okay. Which is your alpha and beta receptors, and
yeah,
this one specifically acts on what?
Specifically the beta receptors.
Okay.
Beta 2, I believe. And being that it is that, it can cause an increase in blood pressure, heightened awareness. It is considered a stimulant, so that probably is where they're getting it when they put that in here.
It's similar to ephedrine, right? Wasn't it?
Ephedrine, some black market items like albuterol, clenbuterol, they sort of all have the same mechanism of action in the body. Obviously, those are much stronger, but...
And those are bronchodilators, so they open up airways, and that was always one of the things with ephedrine that always made me scratch my head sometimes as well. If somebody has asthma, it's going to cause this or that, you know, and there's been follow-up studies since then. You know, the banning of it was confusing causation with correlation when it's otherwise used as directed by healthy individuals. It's fine, but they're bronchodilators, so they open up airways, but they're also vasoconstrictors, because the thought is that they can actually inhibit the production of nitric oxide. But what's odd is they found in a rat study, again, humans aren't rats, we understand that, but it was actually increasing erections. The exact mechanism was, they basically was just inducing relaxation through the beta adrenergic interaction. So we don't know exactly why, so it was kind of weird. It's kind of counterintuitive. You think, oh, okay, if it's going to stop nitric oxide production, well, why is it leading to better blood flow to the to give an erection to a rat? So we'll have to see what happens with that. So it's an interesting ingredient, so we'll see where that goes. And then last one is the...
it's a long word, but we're going to simplify it. It's called caffeic acid. It's it's found a lot in coffee. There's usually 2 constituents. There's caffeic acid and chlorogenic acid. So it's found in coffee and a lot of other plants and things like that. It's an antioxidant. It has been shown to be neuroprotective. There is some evidence to support the idea that it can help with increasing, well, they're saying increasing nitric oxide. I've seen other studies that show that it can help with what's called skeletal muscle AMP-K, adenosine monophosphate protein kinase. So it may help improve performance in workouts and things like that, increase metabolism, but there's a lot of research lacking. Most of it's done in rats, not many in humans. So
yeah, there's one in humans, but it's done with IV is what we were able to find. Couldn't find anything oral. So it may be, we're finding more and more about coffee. The chlorogenic acid research is really promising for obese populations. Specifically, that's where a lot of that research is going. It seems relatively positive. We have video on that. So this is just one of the polyphenols that is in coffee. We're starting to find out more and more that coffee can have some pretty good benefits from these antioxidants.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So overall, that's our take on Jack right now. Over time, as more evidence comes out, we'll be able to come back at you guys and say, hey, here's this, here's that. As always, when we're judging these by the information we have at hand. When it comes to stimulants, that's one of the rare times that we do allow for that criteria, where how it makes you feel. Because generally we don't typically consider that valid, only because there's so many factors in the human brain that can lead to placebo effects, linear thinking, things like that. So you always have to make a decision based upon the information you have at hand. If we don't have any information, then it makes sense at some point to rely on experience, but that can lead to other dangers and stuff like that too, because again, people can confuse things and stuff. So based on what we know today, that's what we can give you guys. Hopefully we're able to wrap that up, give you guys, answer your questions and stuff. If you have any others, please feel free to post them in the comment section. We're happy to answer them. Also check us out at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition. Thanks for watching.